mama rolled out of bed and she ran to the police station. When the papa found out, he began to shout and we started the investigation. It's against the law. It was against the law. Oh, what the mama saw. It was against the law. The mama looked down and spit on the ground every time her name gets mentioned.
Pack yourself a toothbrush, dear. Pack yourself a favorite blouse. Take a withdrawal slip. Take all of your savings out. 'Cause if we don't leave this town, we might never make it out. I was not born to drown. Baby, come on. I can see it in your eyes, see it in your face, banging on your chest, acting tough, looking on face, tripping over landlines, cutting deep with the dull blade, running out of unrest, going out of your mind. Lonely days will follow. Will follow, and the gangs that start the halls will know your name. Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock. Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock. Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock. With my own eyes, the tracks down your face. It can't be easy trying to unwind, slipping on your daydreams. I'm not trying to role play. These days can break, I'll take the wheel. These days can break, but I'm gonna take the wheel. Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock. Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock. Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock.
Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey is a template for world peace, whether we're ringmasters, trapeze artists, animal trainers, or crew members. And we all come together and we make something magnificent to share with others.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the whole family is proud to present Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. Welcome to the greatest show on earth!
Performers like us love to do our jobs and wake up every morning with a sense of drive and determination and passion. Thank you so much.
This front row seat for the greatest show on earth.
Ringling Brothers has definitely been my dream come true.
Thank you very much.
I learned that even that a giraffe could exist
was an amazing thing to me. And the smell of the zoo was, or is, something I'll never forget. It reminds me of farms. There's animal excrement that has to be dealt with. And you see how much you have in common with these creatures. Is it ethical? I think we all agree it'd be better, no, if we didn't have zoos, if we had a way to interact with animals without causing them such hardship. Now, the example from my personal experience, which really affects me and affects my judgment on this, there was a guy named Ivan who was a gorilla brought to the United States in the 1960s. My recollection is 1962. And he lived with a family in Tacoma, Washington. And they hung out. The gorilla was at the dinner table, and they did gorilla-human interaction things, played games, did stuff. But the guy eventually got to be the 400-pound gorilla in the room, and they had to put him in an enclosure, in a cage that was concrete. And you could visit him in the B&I department store in Tacoma, Washington. And this, in the Pacific Northwest, this guy was a character, a feature, a tourist attraction. And I don't know, I'm not a primate expert, but I looked at Ivan. I looked him in the eye. You know, we had a little meeting behind the glass. And the guy wasn't angry to me so much as bored. Like, this sucks. You know, I got a rubber swing. It's just, the humans are interesting, but it's really not my deal. He got transferred to the Atlanta Zoo. And I visited him in the Atlanta Zoo. And he had it going on, man. He had a big enclosure. He had girl gorillas. And you could just tell by the way he was walking around, this does not suck. This is cool. You know, that was my interpretation of Ivan's emotions. I may be completely wrong about this, but Ivan grew up with humans. He accepted humans. Humans were as much his pets as he was our pet. And so there was some crossover there that I found really compelling as a human. Now there's another guy who's in the Seattle Zoo, the Woodland Park Zoo, and his name's Vip. Very important person, Vip. And when you look at Vip, he's looking at you. Okay, human, this kind of sucks. You are a skinny nothing, and I could reach in there and I could strangle you and I could break you over my knee right now. And you know what else? I'm a vegetarian, yet I want to mess you up because he can just tell that something went wrong. His people are huge. They're living in a forest. They had it going on, and now they're stuck in this glass enclosure. There's a lot of room, I guess. There's a waterfall or whatever, but this is not what I had in mind growing up. So these two gorillas have had a deep effect on my perception. If we had a way to interact with these creatures without causing them hardship, it would be cool. And I will say, as a kid, my life was enriched by visiting zoos. So people have got to think this through. And I'd say right now, thinking about it, it seems like humane enclosures where the animals don't have to face predators, don't have to have their offspring eaten literally by lions or dogs. That's not bad. But causing them hardship in the enclosures that exist now, let us all rethink about the ethics of confining these primates that we're so close to, and let us promote diversity. One of the great things that may come from modern zoos is the ability to reintroduce these animals in the ecosystem. And another example that's on my mind for everybody, for you to think about before we move away from this topic. Apparently using satellite imagery and park rangers' experience walking around on the ground in Yellowstone, Park Service rangers and officials noticed that there were very few young trees growing along the banks of streams in Yellowstone. And then wolves were reintroduced from a humane standpoint. Wolves are part of the ecosystem. Why should we always be shooting wolves or catching wolves and killing them and making wolf rugs or whatever we would do? And when the wolves were reintroduced, young trees appeared again.
because the wolves were eating the elk that would eat the young shoots of the trees when the trees would grow along the banks of the streams. You would not think right away, if you want more trees, bring in wolves. But that is apparently what happened. Ecosystems are very complicated. So the more diversity we can induce or reintroduce into ecosystems, the better. So it is reasonable to me that zoos have a role in reintroducing megafauna, big animals. It's very reasonable.
Say what's impossible, but they forgot. This world keeps spinning, and with each new day I can feel a change in everything. And as the surface breaks, reflections fade, but in some ways they remain the same. And as my mind begins to spread its wings, there's no stopping curiosity. I wanna turn the whole thing upside down. I'll find with everyone.
What gives the birds of the air their majesty? The creatures of the land and the sea, the power to captivate us. What of their very being gives a richness to our own existence? Whether other planets support life, we do not yet know. What we do know for certain is that we are changing our planet, impacting people and millions of species. What we choose to do next will be a test of our own humanity. For it is not too late to reverse the decline of threatened and endangered species. At WCS, it's both our legacy and our mission. From the American bison to the Kihansi spray toad, from mountain gorillas to snow leopards. We discover, we protect, we inspire. We stand for the last wild places that persist all around us and within us. We stand for wildlife. Stand with us.
Please don't go away. Please don't go away. Please don't go away. Is this how it's supposed to be? Is this how it's supposed to be?
Lonely like a sailor who's left his girl at home. No storm could overtake the love he knows. Tell me why I should run for cover at the sound of the coming thunder, when all I hear is the cry of my lover. So take your shot, I won't turn back. No, I won't turn back. soldier who's answer to the call. Even when his back's up against the wall. So tell me why I should run for cover at the sound of the coming thunder, when all I hear is the cry of my lover. Yeah, take your shot, I won't turn back. I won't turn back. No, I won't turn. No, I won't turn. Oh, tell me why I should run for cover at the sound of the coming thunder. All I hear is the cry of my lover. Yeah, take your shot, I won't turn back. No, I won't turn back. I won't turn back. No, 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 I won't turn back. Oh, 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 oh. Hey, oh, I won't turn back. I won't turn.
I want you by my side, so that I'll never feel alone again. They've always been so kind, but now they've brought you away from me. I hope they didn't get your mind. Your heart is too strong anyway. We need to fetch back the time they have stolen from us.